Alright guys, we are going for it, and we are going for it right now. Welcome to another StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm beta coverage. I am Promise, of course, from Quantic Gaming, and this is another replay that I'm going to go ahead and focus on and, you know, do a little bit of analysis and do a little bit of play-by-play. That's kind of the style that I like to do in casting for StarCraft 2. Now, this is going to be another game that was sent to me from MorroW. Of course, if you have not checked out the previous game, I believe I just got done uploading MorroW against Zinnia, which was a Terran versus Zerg on the map Howling Peak. That was a pretty freaking epic game. MorroW displayed some really unique mech play. I guess I kind of ruined it. I guess I did. I'm sorry. MorroW went mech in that game. Blah blah blah. Just go watch it. You're still gonna like it because that's kind of the way the casts go. No matter what happens, we all love the game of StarCraft 2. But anyway, this is a Terran versus Terran. Right off the bat, let's just straight up introduce the players we have here in the bottom side of the map. I don't know the name of this map, I'm sorry. But it's going to be our blue Terran player. He is going to be spawning in. And this is Millennium's ForGG. ForGG is obviously a pretty huge fan favorite in the foreign community. Very skilled. Has a little bit of a reputation for being a little bit all-in-ish. That's nothing bad. It's nothing good. Well, it can be good because you're not predictable, but again, enough about talking about predictability. You know, all-inning and doing two base timings and all-ins and off one base stuff, all that stuff is part of the game, right? You just adapt to it. You got to scout it out, and you can pretty much counter it, right? That's how the game of StarCraft 2 works. It's part of the game. Deal with it. It happens. But anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our other player who's going to be spawning in as a red Terran on the right side of the map. This guy is MorroW. If you guys didn't watch the other cast, I was almost going to call this guy Mouse MorroW because it felt so natural to just say Mouse MorroW. He was on Mouse for a pretty long time, but he is solo. MorroW is riding solo. He is looking for a female to go ahead and accompany him in his life at the Ministry of Wind, which is kind of where he is right now. Obviously, he's not looking for a female. I don't know if he's looking for a team. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. But let's just focus on this Terran versus Terran. I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, this is post-patch, so this is actually after the removal of the Warhound. The Warhound is completely gone out of the game. I mentioned this in my other casts. I'm going to mention it again. I don't want people saying, oh, what is this replay? Why is this such an old replay? All these excuses in comments. This is post-patch. No Warhounds in this game. You cannot make them. I don't know if they're going to return. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We'll have to wait and see for that. But ForGG is obviously a player that is extremely mechanically oriented. I'm having trouble talking and just spilling over my words. But he is someone that has very, very high APM, and that is kind of reminiscent of all the Korean professional players, at least most of them. They're very fast. They're really good at kind of knowing the game in and out. They're good at scouting different things and you know, figuring out what they want to do to their opponent. But let's talk about the openings, as I kind of just rambled on a little bit here. It looks like a Reaper is going to be the choice for MorroW. He is expanding behind this, so he's not looking like he's going to stay on one base for very long. So there's a command center being started for MorroW. We do see that he did get barracks. Of course, you do need a tech lab to get a Reaper. And this is so cool because the Reaper now has this new kind of ability. What is this thing called? Okay, it's called Combat Drugs, and it's called Battlefield Awareness. Okay, so this allows Reapers to see up cliffs and through terrain that would normally block line of sight. So you actually give yourself, let me just show you guys an example. If you're here, for example, and you try to go up this cliff, or if you're here and you try to go up this cliff, you can actually see what's up here. So pretty good buff for the Reaper. MorroW immediately telling himself, okay, you guys are going to buff the Reaper. I'm going to go ahead and test it out and see what's going on. But in the base of ForGG, what is this Korean boss Terran doing? He is going to go ahead and get a Banshee bait. ForGG is kind of a guy that goes Banshees in pretty much every matchup. TVT, TVZ, and TVP. So not a huge surprise. Cloak is in fact on its way. MorroW, meanwhile, what's his transition here behind this Reaper? Getting a super quick third. What is this? MorroW being very economical this game. He is just expanding all over the place. And what does he have in the main base? All he has is a barracks with a tech lab. How is he going to possibly defend against this one base play from ForGG? The Banshee is already out for the Terran player, for the blue Terran player that is. Cloak is about to finish. It's about halfway completed. And the thing is, ForGG hasn't expanded yet. So he is kind of on this one base little build that we're going to see from him. And there's the Banshee moving its way into the main base of MorroW. MorroW does not really have anything to deal with this. He has a good amount of Marines. Does he? He has 2 Marines, and that's not going to be enough against this Banshee here from ForGG. And ForGG kind of just running in. 2 barracks are going to go ahead and finish up, and not looking good for MorroW, falling down to 26 supply. Units lost. Take a quick look at that. 12 units lost for MorroW. What's up with this quick third, man? I don't know. MorroW obviously knows what's going on, but he is still alive in the game. ForGG doing some pretty good damage here with the Banshee. Has 11 kills. Pretty sick Banshee control there by ForGG, just pretty much killing anything that's in its way. But ForGG is not expanding, and that could be the thing that gets MorroW back into this game. Another Banshee's on its way. There's a siege tank being produced. More Marines in production right now for ForGG. This possibly is going to be just another follow-up timing with a Marine tank push. But ForGG's up to 2 Banshees now. MorroW is in a lot of trouble. He's kind of trying to add additional barracks here, falling down to 28 supply, 49 supply for ForGG. ForGG is going to see this 3rd expansion. I believe he saw that expansion. Yeah, he sees this 3rd. He's like, what's going on, man? You're double expanding in this TVT matchup against my 1 base play. What you doing, MorroW? But looks like MorroW still losing a lot of supply. 27 supply compared to 52. ForGG is still on 1 base. There we go. Finally, man. He is going to go ahead and take a natural expansion. Thank you very much, ForGG. You're not going to stay on 1 base much longer, but here comes the push. Good amount of Marines on the map for ForGG. As we look at the units tab. 11 Marines, 2 Banshees, 1 siege tank. Banshees still hacking away at some structures here in the main base of MorroW. Looks like that 3rd expansion going to be a little bit vulnerable. MorroW falling down to 30 supply. ForGG just pushing the issue with this Marine. A lot of these Marines in the siege tank, and MorroW calls it Millennium Dragon build, smiley face, and smiley face gets called from ForGG, and then the GG gets called from MorroW. So that is going to do it for this cast. ForGG, in fact, will win this game. And I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Of course, follow the players. MorroW is at ICA MorroW. I do not know the Twitter for ForGG. I think it's at Millennium ForGG or at MILL ForGG. I don't know. Google it. You'll find it. Follow me personally at Quantic Promise. And that's going to do it for this cast. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.